I was looking through some stuff about the Adepta Sororitas the other day, and I could say they're a fascinating bunch. The Sisters of Battle, this incredible all-female fighting force in the Imperium, known for their uh, unwavering faith and just absolutely ferocious dedication to the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting to me that they were formed during this chaotic time
Yeah.
called the Age of Apostasy.
Yeah, the Age of Apostasy is crucial to understanding the Adepta Sororitas. Picture the Imperium in the 36th millennium, a place already rife with constant war and struggle.
Oh, yeah.
And then add to that a power-hungry High Lord of the Administratum named Gouge Vandir,
Okay.
who really throws things into disarray with his tyrannical rule.
So this Gouge Vandir, he wasn't just your average corrupt official, was he? He sounds like he took things to a whole new level.
Oh, yeah.
What exactly did he do that made him stand out as such a terrible ruler?
Well, Vandir was incredibly cunning and manipulative, and his rise to power started with the ecclesiarchy. He installed a puppet ecclesiarch, a man named Paulus III, who was known for his incompetence and corruption.
Oh, wow.
And this weakened the ecclesiarchy's authority, allowing Vandir to seize control in a coup, claiming that Paulus III was a heretic.
Uh-huh.
So this made Vandir both the High Lord of the Administratum and the ecclesiarch, giving him almost absolute power over the Imperium.
Wow, so he basically consolidated his power by playing both sides.
Yeah.
What a power grab. But where do the Sisters of Battle fit into all of this? Did Vandir create them during this period of upheaval?
He played a role in their origins, but not in the way you might think.
Okay.
Vandir learned about a group of devout warrior women on a remote agri-world called San Lior, who called themselves the Daughters of the Emperor. They lived a life of prayer and martial discipline. Vandir, always a showman, decided to visit them with a massive entourage and using the opportunity to showcase his supposed piety to the masses.
So he was basically using them as a prop
Yeah.
in his propaganda campaign, making himself seem more pious and devoted than he actually was.
Exactly.
Okay.
When Vandir arrived at their convent,
Mm-hmm.
the daughters initially refused to open their gates. They recognized only the authority of the emperor himself. To convince them, Vandir staged this theatrical display,
Okay.
having one of his guards shoot him.
Oh, wow.
While he wore a rosarius, a protective device that deflected the shot, making it seem like a miracle, this is odd, the daughters, who pledged their loyalty to him, changing their name to the Brides of the Emperor.
So he manipulated them by preying on their faith
Yeah.
and using their devotion to bolster his own power. What a con artist.
Vandir's reign quickly became a nightmare, a
Okay.
period known as the Reign of Blood. He
Mhm.
ruthlessly purged anyone he perceived as a threat,
Okay.
which led to billions of deaths across the Imperium. Tragically, the Brides of the Emperor, their faith twisted to serve his ambition, became his enforcers, carrying out his brutal decrees. And this is a key point,
Okay.
because their transformation into the Adepta Sororitas we know today was a direct response to this period of darkness and oppression.
That makes a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
They had to reclaim their faith and purpose after being used by this tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
How did they break free from his control, though?
Yeah.
Was there a rebellion?
Yes.
Or-
A charismatic preacher named Sebastian Thor emerged
Okay.
and led a rebellion against Vandir's tyranny. Thor denounced Vandir as a traitor to the Imperium and called for a return to the true spirit of the Imperial Creed, one focused on compassion and mercy, which resonated with the oppressed masses. Soon, a full-scale rebellion ignited across the Imperium,
Wow.
with the goal of ending Vandir's reign.
So Thor was like a revolutionary figure fighting for the soul of the Imperium, challenging the corrupted power structure that Vandir had established.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thor's message resonated not only with the common people, but also with powerful factions within the Imperium, like the Space Marines and the Adeptus Mechanicus, who had grown increasingly wary of Vandir's overreach.
Okay.
They joined forces with Thor, eventually launching a massive assault on Terra to finally put an end to Vandir's reign of blood.
Okay, so we have this epic clash brewing the forces of Sebastian Thor versus the corrupted ecclesiarchy under Vandir.
Yeah.
What role did the Brides of the Emperor play in this final confrontation?
Their role is where things get especially interesting.
All right.
The Space Marines, expecting to only face the treacherous Templar, launched a lightning assault on Vandir's palace. But to their surprise, they were met by the brides of the Emperor, fighting with incredible ferocity and skill.
So even under Vandier's corrupted influence, they were already formidable warriors, completely dedicated to what they believed was the Emperor's will.
Absolutely. They held their ground with a zealotry that shocked even the Space Marines, turning the assault into a bloody siege that lasted for solar months.
Wow.
A pivotal moment occurred when a custodian, a warrior of the Adeptus Custodes, sought out Alicia Dominica, the leader of the brides,
Okay.
and took her and her closest companions before the Golden Throne.
An audience with the Emperor himself. Incredible.
Yeah.
What happened during this encounter?
Well, the Emperor is on the Golden Throne,
Sure.
but unfortunately, no written records exist of what happened during that encounter.
Oh, wow.
However, Alicia Dominica emerged from this experience with newfound clarity and purpose,
Okay.
and she and her companions immediately confronted Vandir
Uh-huh.
in his audience chamber, denouncing him for his crimes against the Imperium.
Okay.
Vandir, in a moment of sheer madness, reportedly uttered, "I don't have time to die, I'm too busy,"
Oh, my goodness.
before Alicia Dominica personally beheaded him,
Wow.
ending the reign of blood.
What a dramatic end to a tyrannical reign. So this was the turning point for the Brides of the Emperor. What happened to them after Vandir's death and the collapse of his regime?
With Vandir gone, Sebastian Thor was declared the new ecclesiarch,
Okay.
and he immediately initiated sweeping reforms to restore order and faith in the Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
One of his most significant acts was the decree passive,
Okay.
which forbade the ecclesiarchy from maintaining any men under arms as a measure to prevent another power grab like Vandir's.
That presented a problem for the Brides of the Emperor, didn't it?
Yeah.
They were technically a military force even if they were all women.
Yeah.
How did they navigate this new decree?
It was a challenge, but also an opportunity for the ecclesiarchy to regain control over its military forces.
Uh-huh.
The brides, disillusioned with Vandir and seeking redemption, were reformed into the orders militant of the Adepta Sororitas. Their all-female composition allowed the ecclesiarchy to circumvent the decree passive, at least in spirit.
So they found a loophole, a way to maintain a fighting force while adhering to the letter, if not the spirit of the new law.
Mm-hmm.
It's clever, but also raises questions about the Imperium's often contradictory nature.
Indeed, under Alicia Dominica, who led the execution of Vandir, the Adepta Sororitas became the ecclesiarchy's sword and shield defenders of the faith and enforcers of its will. They embarked on wars of faith across the galaxy, purging heresy and bringing the Emperor's light to the darkest corners of the Imperium. Their transformation from pawns of a tyrant to holy warriors, upholding the true spirit of the Imperial Creed, is a testament to their resilience and unwavering faith.
Their connection to the Ordo Hereticus is also quite interesting. They serve as the chamber militant of the Ordo Hereticus, the witch hunters of the Inquisition. How does that come about?
That connection also stems from the Age of Apostasy. The Ordo Hereticus was formed in the wake of Vandir's fall, with the specific mission of preventing another such disaster. They were tasked with rooting out heresy within the Imperium,
Right.
both in terms of religious deviation and genetic or psychic corruption.
Okay.
And they needed a powerful force to back them up.
That makes sense, given their history and their dedication to rooting out heresy.
Yeah.
The Adepta Sororitas seem like the perfect fit for such a role.
Yeah.
But why them specifically?
Yeah.
Were there other options available?
Shortly after the Order's militant were established, a pivotal agreement was reached between the leaders of the Ordo Hereticus and the Adepta Sororitas called the Convocation of Nephilim.
Okay.
This document officially bound the Adepta Sororitas to the Ordo Hereticus as its chamber militant, essentially making them the witch hunters' primary fighting force.
So they became the muscle for the Ordo Hereticus, carrying out their will and purging those deemed heretics and enemies of the Imperium.
The exact details of this agreement are shrouded in secrecy.
Oh.
Some speculate that it has to do with whatever knowledge was imparted to Alicia Dominica before the Golden Throne. During that pivotal encounter, something so crucial it required this formal alliance.
Right.
Others believe it was a way for the Inquisition to curb the ecclesiarchy's power,
Okay.
ensuring that no single faction gained too much influence.
Perhaps it was a bit of both a strategic alliance born out of necessity,
Yeah.
but also a way to maintain a balance of power within the Imperium's complex structure.
Yeah.
What's fascinating is that this arrangement has lasted for millennia, a testament to the Adepta Sororitas' effectiveness and their unwavering dedication to their mission.
Their history is filled with wars and crusades against the enemies of the Imperium.
Yeah.
One particularly striking event is the San Lior massacre.
Okay.
San Lior, as you recall, was the Adepta Sororitas' original homeworld.
Right.
A Chaos Space Marine warband known as the Red Corsairs invaded the planet.
Knowing the Adepta Sororitas, I can only imagine their response was swift and brutal. They wouldn't let an invasion of their sacred homeworld go unpunished.
The Red Corsairs were utterly unprepared for the fury of the Adepta Sororitas' response. It wasn't just one Order militant that answered the call, but 9. They descended upon the Chaos Space Marines with righteous fury, wiping them out to the last man, leaving no trace of their corruption on the planet.
That sends a very clear message, doesn't it? Don't mess with the Adepta Sororitas.
Yeah.
Especially not on their home turf.
Yeah.
What about other notable conflicts?
Yeah.
They must have fought on countless battlefields across the Imperium.
Indeed, in the War for Piety, for instance,
Okay.
Canoness Soraya of the Order of the Sacred Rose led a force of sisters onto a demon world.
A demon world?
Yeah.
That's incredibly dangerous, even for the Adepta Sororitas.
Yeah.
They must have faced truly terrifying enemies and challenges to accomplish such a mission.
They did, and they emerged victorious, securing the relics and escaping just before a Grey Knight's strike force arrived to cleanse the planet. It's a testament to their unwavering faith and martial prowess, their ability to overcome even the most daunting odds.
It sounds like the stuff of legends. It makes you realize that the Adepta Sororitas aren't just soldiers. They're almost mythical figures embodying the Imperium's unwavering faith and determination in the face of overwhelming darkness. Are there any other examples of their courage and dedication that stand out?
Another notable event is the Prometheum War,
Okay.
where the Order of the Ebon Chalice fought alongside the Salamanders chapter of Space Marines against the Black Legion, one of the most powerful Chaos Space Marine warbands. They were locked in a brutal urban war,
Oh, wow.
with the fate of the planet hanging in the balance, and just when things were looking grim.
Okay.
Saint Celestine the Living Saint appeared on the battlefield, turning the tide of the war.
Saint Celestine, she's practically a legend amongst the Adepta Sororitas, isn't she?
Yeah.
A symbol of hope and divine intervention in a galaxy filled with darkness.
Yes, her arrival was a pivotal moment in the war. Her presence inspired the Imperial forces and scattered the forces of chaos. However, just as mysteriously as she appeared, she vanished again, leaving behind tales of miraculous feats and divine intervention.
It must have been an incredible sight to behold a true manifestation of the Emperor's power on the battlefield. Speaking of remarkable figures, I noticed that the source material mentions several other individuals like Saints Catherine Lucia and Mina. Can you tell us more about them and their significance within the Adepta Sororitas?
Each of them represents a different facet of the Adepta Sororitas' spirit and history.
Yeah.
Saint Catherine, known as the Shield Bearer, was a legendary warrior whose unwavering courage in the face of chaos inspired the Order of Our Martyred Lady. Saint Lucia, renowned for her unwavering faith, endured unimaginable torture at the hands of heretics and emerged as a symbol of resilience and purity, reminding the Adepta Sororitas that even in the darkest of times, faith can triumph.
It's amazing these women are more than just warriors. They're embodiments of the Adepta Sororitas' ideals, inspiring their sisters with tales of their courage, faith, and sacrifice.
Precisely, they embody the virtues that every sister aspires to: faith, courage, selflessness, and unwavering devotion to the Emperor.
Right.
Their stories serve as inspiration and guidance for the Adepta Sororitas even today, reminding them of the strength that faith can provide.
I'm also curious about another individual mentioned in the source material, Ephriel Stern.
Oh, yeah.
She's described as the Thrice-Born and the Demonofuge. Those titles sound intriguing.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about her?
Ephriel Stern is an enigmatic figure, even by the standards of the Adepta Sororitas.
Okay.
Her story is one of incredible power and sacrifice intertwined with encounters with demons and a mysterious connection to the warp. You can imagine the warp as like a sea of raw psychic energy where emotions and thoughts take physical form. It's where psychers draw their power,
Okay.
but it's also where demons reside.
Right.
Her story begins on the world of Parnas, where she was sent to investigate a lost convent
Okay.
that had fallen silent.
A lost convent that sounds ominous. What happened there? Did they find the missing sisters?
They did,
Okay.
but not in the way they expected. The convent had been overrun by a powerful daemon of Slanesh,
Oh, wow.
a keeper of secrets,
Okay.
who had corrupted the sisters,
Mm-hmm.
transforming them into this horrifying entity called the Screaming Cage,
Okay.
a fusion of flesh and tormented souls.
That sounds absolutely terrifying. What happened to Ephriel Stern during this encounter with the demon and the corrupted sisters?
During the ensuing battle, Stern was mortally wounded,
Okay.
but the fallen sisters within the Screaming Cage, still clinging to a shred of their former faith, used their combined power to resurrect her,
Wow.
imbuing her with their collective belief in the Emperor
Uh-huh.
and granting her these extraordinary abilities to combat the forces of chaos.
So she was brought back to life with the power of their faith. That's incredible. It speaks to the potent force that faith can be in the Warhammer 40K universe.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Her memories of the event were erased, leaving her with a sense of unease and a power she didn't fully understand.
Okay.
When she returned to her order,
Mhm.
her unnatural abilities made her the target of suspicion,
Right.
with some believing that she had been tainted by chaos. Which is understandable, given that they deal with demons and heretics all the time.
Yeah.
So they'd be cautious about any sign of corruption.
Right.
Stern was subjected to numerous trials to test her purity, but eventually she was cleared and even accompanied an inquisitor back to Parnas to investigate further.
I can see why they'd be cautious facing down demons. And heretics takes incredible strength of will, and even the slightest hint of corruption could be disastrous. So what happened during her second encounter with the demon?
It was a harrowing battle, culminating in the Inquisitor sacrificing himself to banish the demon back to the work. During the fight, the fallen sisters within the Screaming Cage completed their work, transferring their remaining knowledge and power into Ephriel Stern.
So she became this conduit of their face, their champion against the forces of chaos, imbued with the power of dozens of sisters. It's both tragic and incredibly powerful.
From that point on, Stern embraced her power, becoming this formidable force against demons, hunted by both the Imperium, who feared her power, and Chaos, who sought to corrupt or destroy her. Her current whereabouts are unknown. Her story shrouded in mystery and legend.
Fascinating story. Ephriel Stern is almost a mythical figure embodying the Adepta Sororitas' struggle against the darkness and the potent but potentially dangerous power of faith. Speaking of organization, I'm curious about the internal structure of the Adepta Sororitas.
Yeah.
How are they organized?
Yeah.
Do they have ranks and hierarchies like the Space Marines?
They do, but their structure is quite different from the Space Marines' chapter-based system. The Adepta Sororitas is a unified organization with a centralized leadership and a complex hierarchy based on both military rank and the specific roles of the various orders. Think of it like a school. You have the students, the teachers, and the principal.
Okay.
In the Adepta Sororitas, the battle sisters are like the students, the canonesses are the teachers, and the Abbess Sanctorum is the principal, leading the whole organization.
That's a helpful analogy.
Yeah.
So who's at the very top of this structure?
Yeah.
Who commands the entire Adepta Sororitas?
The highest-ranking individual is the Abbess Sanctorum,
Okay.
who is elected by the leaders of all the orders. She is the overall spiritual leader of the Adepta Sororitas
Right.
and resides in the convent prioress on Terra,
Okay.
overseeing the entire organization and ensuring that the Adepta Sororitas remain true to their mission of defending the Imperium and upholding the Imperial Creed.
So they have a single leader who oversees everything.
Yes. Beneath the Abbess Sanctorum are two prioresses,
Okay.
one leading each of the two main convents, the convent prioress on Terra and the convent sanctorum on Ophelia VII. These prioresses act as the Abbess Sanctorum's lieutenants, overseeing the day-to-day operations of their respective convents, and ensuring the smooth functioning of the Adepta Sororitas' vast network of orders.
So there's a clear chain of command with the Abbess Sanctorum at the top, followed by the prioresses. But what about the different orders themselves? We've talked about the orders militant, who are the warriors, but there are others, right?
Yes. The Adepta Sororitas is divided into numerous orders, each with its own specialized function. You have the orders militant, who are the warriors, but there are also non-militant orders, like the Order of Hospitaller,
Right.
who care for the sick and wounded, providing medical aid and spiritual guidance to those in need.
That's right. They're more than just soldiers. They also perform important roles within the Imperium, like healing and providing aid to those who have been affected by the constant wars and conflicts that plague the galaxy.
Exactly. You also have the Orders Famulus, who handle diplomacy and serve as advisors to imperial officials, using their knowledge and faith to guide the Imperium's political landscape.
Okay.
And then there are the Orders Dialogus,
Right.
who are scholars, translators, and keepers of knowledge, preserving the Imperium's history and ensuring that the wisdom of the past is not lost to the ravages of time.
So it's a very diverse organization, with each order contributing to the Adepta Sororitas' overall mission of defending the Imperium and upholding the Imperial Creed. It makes you wonder how someone rises through the ranks within this complex structure.
Yeah.
Do they start as a novice and work their way up, proving their dedication and skill?
That's generally how it works.
Yeah.
Most recruits are drawn from the Scala Progenium,
Okay.
the Imperial orphanages where children who have lost their families to the horrors of war are raised to serve the Imperium.
Right.
They're identified as potential candidates at a young age
Okay.
and undergo rigorous training and indoctrination, learning the tenets of the Imperial Creed and the skills necessary to defend the Imperium.
Okay.
Once a novice is deemed ready,
Uh-huh.
she takes her vows to the Emperor
Okay.
and is assigned to an order,
Right.
where she begins further specialized training.
It sounds like an incredibly demanding path requiring both physical and spiritual strength to endure.
It is within the Orders Militant, for example.
Okay.
You have ranks like Sister Superior,
Okay.
who leads a squad of battle sisters into combat,
Mm-hmm.
coordinating their attacks and ensuring they remain focused on their mission.
Okay.
And then you have Canoness,
Right.
who is a veteran warrior and commander,
Okay.
responsible for leading entire detachments of Adepta Sororitas into battle,
Uh-huh.
making tactical decisions and inspiring her sisters with her courage and faith.
So you have the basic battle sister,
Yeah.
then the sister superior,
Huh?
and then the canoness, who's like a high-ranking officer.
Yeah.
Responsible for the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of sisters under her command.
Yeah. And above them all is the Abbess Sanctorum, leading the entire Adepta Sororitas.
Yes. It's a hierarchy based on both experience and leadership ability. The Adepta Sororitas values those who demonstrate unwavering faith, martial skill, and dedication to the Emperor's cause above all else. Their entire organization is structured around these core principles, ensuring that only the most devout and capable individuals rise to positions of authority.
This brings us to another interesting point, their war gear.
Yeah.
They're known for their iconic power armor and bolters.
Yeah.
But I noticed that the source material mentions some unique weapons and equipment.
Mm.
Can you shed some light on their arsenal? What sets them apart from other Imperial forces?
Their weaponry reflects their dual nature as both warriors and instruments of faith. They utilize the standard Imperial arsenal, but their equipment is often modified or imbued with religious significance, making each weapon not just a tool of war, but also a symbol of their devotion to the Emperor. So their weapons are more than just tools of war. They're also symbols of their faith, extensions of their belief in the Emperor
Right.
and their dedication to his cause.
Exactly. Their primary weapon is the Godwin Diaz pattern bolter,
Okay.
a bolter specifically designed for the Adepta Sororitas and blessed by their canonesses. It represents not only their firepower,
Okay.
but also their connection to the Emperor, a physical manifestation of their faith and their commitment to purging heresy from the galaxy.
It's interesting that they have their own pattern of bolter. It shows how they are a distinct force within the Imperium,
Yeah.
with their own traditions and ways of waging war.
Mhm.
What about other weapons?
Yeah.
Do they use anything besides bolters?
Oh, absolutely. They employ a wide variety of weapons, each chosen for its effectiveness and symbolic value. Flamers, for example,
Oh.
are favored for their purifying effect, symbolizing the purging of heresy and the cleansing of the Imperium from corruption. Melta weapons represent the righteous wrath of the Emperor, capable of melting even the toughest armor and incinerating the enemies of the Imperium.
I also noticed that they use some unique melee weapons like eviscerators and neural whips.
Yeah.
Those sound brutal.
They are reflecting the brutal nature of war in the Warhammer 40K universe.
Right.
The Eviscerator is a massive chain weapon
Okay.
favored by the Sisters Repentia,
Right.
who seek redemption through acts of extreme violence.
Mhm.
Their fury, a manifestation of their self-loathing and desire to atone for their sins.
Okay.
The Neural Whip, often wielded by the Mistresses of Repentance who guide and direct the Sisters Repentia, is a psychoconductive weapon that inflicts both physical and mental pain, breaking the will of their opponents and forcing them to confront the error of their ways.
It sounds like they have a tool for every occasion. From ranged combat to close quarters engagements. Each weapon carefully chosen for its effectiveness and its symbolic value within their faith. What about their power armor?
Yeah.
Is it similar to what the Space Marines wear?
It is power armor,
Okay.
but it's lighter and more flexible than the Space Marine armor.
Okay.
This allows for greater agility,
Right.
which is important given their combat doctrine,
Uh-huh.
which focuses on speed, maneuverability, and overwhelming firepower.
So they sacrifice some protection for speed and maneuverability, relying on their faith and skill to survive the horrors of the battlefield.
Yes, it's a trade-off that suits their fighting style. They rely on a combination of firepower, faith, and tactical acumen to overcome their enemies, using their superior mobility to outmaneuver their opponents and unleash devastating attacks. It's a testament to their skill and dedication that they are able to survive against such overwhelming odds.
It's amazing how their equipment reflects their beliefs and their role within the Imperium. It makes them even more unique and interesting, as a force perfectly suited for the grim darkness of the 41st millennium.
Yeah.
I'm also curious about their vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have any specialized transports or tanks?
They do. Their vehicles, their weapons are often modified versions of standard Imperial designs, adapted to suit their needs and adorned with religious iconography. One of their most common transports is the Rhino,
Right.
a durable personnel carrier,
Yeah.
used by many Imperial forces to transport troops across the battlefield.
So they use the same basic Rhino, but I imagine they add their own flair to it, right?
Yeah.
Something to make it stand out as belonging to the Adepta Sororitas.
Exactly. Their rhinos are often decorated with holy symbols, scriptures, and relics, transforming them into mobile shrines, a testament to their faith and their belief that the Emperor protects them even in the midst of battle. It's a reminder that for the Adepta Sororitas, war is not just a physical conflict, it's a spiritual crusade, a battle for the soul of humanity itself.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah.
A rolling testament to their faith and dedication.
What about tanks?
Yeah.
Do they have any heavy armor to support their infantry?
They do. One of their most iconic tanks is the Immolator,
Okay.
which is based on the Rhino chassis.
Right.
But armed with this fearsome array of flamers, it's a terrifying sight to behold a wall of fire advancing across the battlefield, purging all in its path, representing the Adepta Sororitas' unwavering zeal and their dedication to purifying the Imperium.
It does sound like a perfect representation of their zeal and their dedication to purifying the Imperium,
Yeah.
turning the Emperor's wrath into a physical manifestation on the battlefield. Do they have any other notable vehicles?
Another powerful tank in their arsenal is the Exorcist,
Okay.
a long-range artillery platform that fires missiles imbued with holy power. Imagine a barrage of explosive projectiles,
Wow.
each one inscribed with prayers and litanies, raining down upon the enemies of the Emperor.
Yeah.
A display of both firepower and faith.
It must have a devastating psychological impact on their foes, seeing these symbols of faith turn into weapons of war.
Yeah.
A reminder that the Adepta Sororitas are not just soldiers,
Yeah.
but instruments of the Emperor's divine will.
Absolutely. For the Adepta Sororitas, their faith is their shield and their weapon, guiding their actions and fueling their determination.
Their use of the penitent engine is also quite striking. It's a testament to the ecclesiarchy's belief in redemption, even for those who have committed grave sins, offering a path to atonement through suffering and sacrifice.
Indeed.
Okay.
The penitent engine is this towering war machine,
Right.
piloted by individuals who have committed heinous crimes against the Imperium or the
Wow.
Imperial Creed.
Mm-hmm.
They seek atonement through suffering and sacrifice. Their bodies fused with the machine, their minds tormented by their past transgressions, driven to acts of extreme violence, their only hope of redemption found in death or in the destruction of the Emperor's enemies.
It's a grim reminder of the Imperium's harshness, but also of the Adepta Sororitas' belief in the possibility of redemption, even in the face of terrible darkness.
Yeah. That even the most wretched sinner can find forgiveness through service to the Emperor.
Their faith is unwavering. It sustains them through the most horrific battles, guiding their actions and fueling their determination. It's a core part of their identity.
Right.
What sets them apart from other Imperial forces and makes them such a potent weapon in the Imperium's arsenal.
It makes me think about another aspect of the Adepta Sororitas,
Mm-hmm.
the concept of saints.
Yeah.
We've mentioned Saint Celestine and others. What's their significance within the Adepta Sororitas?
Yeah.
What role do they play in their faith and their actions?
Saints are incredibly important figures for the Adepta Sororitas.
Okay.
They represent the pinnacle of faith and devotion,
Mm-hmm.
individuals who have achieved a state of spiritual purity and who often possess miraculous abilities.
Right.
Their deeds inspire awe and reverence among their fellow sisters.
So they're role models, inspirations for the rest of the Adepta Sororitas, showing them what's possible through faith and dedication to the Emperor.
Precisely. Saints are seen as living embodiments of the Emperor's will, their actions guided by divine inspiration. Their stories are told and retold their deeds, serving as examples for every sister to strive towards a reminder that even in the grimdark universe of Warhammer 40K, faith can achieve extraordinary things.
It makes you realize that for the Adepta Sororitas, faith is more than just a belief system. It's a tangible force that can manifest in extraordinary ways,
Yeah.
granting them strength, resilience, and even the ability to sanely defy the laws of physics. It's both fascinating and a little bit frightening.
It is their faith permeates every aspect of their lives, shaping their worldview, their actions, and their very perception of reality. It's what allows them to endure the hardships, overcome their fears, and face even the most terrifying enemies with unwavering courage.
This brings us to another important question. What is their ultimate goal? What are they fighting for? Is it simply about survival, about protecting the Imperium from its enemies, or is there a deeper purpose driving their actions?
Well, their ultimate goal is to defend the Imperium and uphold the Imperial Creed. They see themselves as warriors of faith, instruments of the Emperor's will, tasked with purging heresy and safeguarding humanity from the corrupting influence of chaos, which they see as like the antithesis to everything the Emperor represents.
So in a sense, they are fighting for the soul of humanity,
Yeah.
battling against the forces of darkness that seek to corrupt and destroy everything that is good and pure in the galaxy.
Yes, they believe that the Emperor represents the best of humanity, the pinnacle of human potential.
Okay.
They see chaos as a reflection of humanity's flaws.
Right.
Its darkness,
Mm-hmm.
its capacity for cruelty and self-destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Their war against chaos is not just a physical conflict, but a spiritual one.
Okay.
A battle for the very essence of what it means to be human.
It's a battle that's been raging for millennia. A cosmic struggle between order and chaos, light and darkness, with the Adepta Sororitas standing on the front lines of that conflict, their faith, their shield, their bolters, their swords, unwavering in their dedication to the Emperor and his vision for humanity.
They are a beacon of hope in a galaxy consumed by war and strife, representing the unwavering spirit of humanity, its capacity for faith, courage, and self-sacrifice, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, there are those who will stand against the tide of darkness and fight for a brighter future.
It makes you wonder, though, what would happen if they were to lose faith, if the horrors they face were to become too much, if their belief in the Emperor were to waver.
Yeah.
What would become of them?
Oh,
Would they be able to maintain their strength and purpose, or would they crumble under the weight of despair?
that is a chilling thought. Their faith is their strength, the foundation upon which their entire worldview is built.
Right.
Without it, they would be vulnerable, lost in a galaxy of darkness and despair, their purpose shattered, their will broken.
It's a reminder of the fragility of even the strongest belief systems. Doubt, disillusionment, despair. These are all threats that can erode faith and leave even the most devout vulnerable to the temptations of chaos.
The Adepta Sororitas recognize this danger.
Okay.
And they're constantly vigilant, not only against external threats, but also against the insidious whispers of doubt that can creep into even the most faithful heart.
Yeah.
They understand that maintaining their faith is a constant struggle, a battle fought on two fronts. The external conflict against the enemies of the Imperium and the internal struggle to maintain their faith and resist the corrupting influences that surround them.
It's a constant test of their will and their devotion, a testament to their strength and resilience that they are able to maintain their faith in the face of such overwhelming darkness and suffering.
Yeah.
It's quite remarkable, really.
Indeed, the Adepta Sororitas are more than just soldiers. They are guardians of faith, warriors of light in a galaxy consumed by darkness. Their story is one of unwavering courage, unwavering devotion, and the enduring power of belief, a testament to the strength of the human spirit and its ability to find hope even in the most desperate of circumstances.
It makes me think about another fascinating aspect of the Adepta Sororitas, their relics and sacred artifacts.
Oh, yeah.
What role do these items play in their faith and their combat doctrines? Are they simply religious symbols, or do they hold a deeper significance for the Adepta Sororitas?
Relics are a tangible link to the Adepta Sororitas of the past, to their founding saints, and the miraculous events that have shaped their history. They are imbued with spiritual power, believed to channel the Emperor's will, and grant blessings to those who wield them in battle against the enemies of the Imperium.
So they are more than just historical curiosities or religious symbols.
Yeah.
They're actual weapons of war capable of channeling divine power and influencing the outcome of battles.
Uh-huh.
That's a fascinating concept. The idea that faith can manifest as a physical force on the battlefield.
Relics are treated with reverence and care, often enshrined within their convents or carried into battle by their most devout warriors. They are believed to offer protection, inspire courage, and enhance the Adepta Sororitas' already formidable abilities, making them even more effective in their fight against the forces of chaos.
It's almost like a physical manifestation of their faith, a tangible representation of the Emperor's power flowing through them. Can you give us some examples of these relics and their supposed powers? What kind of objects are we talking about, and what effects do they have on the battlefield?
One of the most famous relics is the Blade of Admonition,
Okay.
the very sword used by Saint Alicia Dominica to execute Goj Vendir during his final confrontation with the Adepta Sororitas. It is said to be imbued with the saint's righteous fury, capable of cleaving through armor and flesh with ease, a symbol of the Adepta Sororitas' unwavering dedication to purging heresy and corruption from the Imperium.
It's a powerful symbol of their origins, a reminder of their victory over tyranny, and their dedication to upholding the true spirit of the Imperial Creed, the core tenets of their faith. It must be an incredible honor for a sister to wield such a weapon in battle, a tangible link to their history and their mission.
Another revered relic is the Cloak of Saint Aspera,
Okay.
a garment blessed by the ecclesiarch and woven with shards of the Emperor's armor,
Wow.
offering protection from harm, turning aside blows and deflecting projectiles, allowing the wearer to walk unharmed through the deadliest of battlefields.
It's a symbol of the Emperor's protection,
Yeah.
a physical manifestation of their faith, shielding them from the horrors that surround them. It's a powerful image, a testament to the Adepta Sororitas' belief that the Emperor watches over them and guides their actions.
The Mantle of Ophelia is another powerful artifact. Once worn by Helena the Virtuous, a living saint, and one of the most respected leaders in the Adepta Sororitas history, it is believed to be imbued with the Emperor's grace, offering guidance and wisdom to those who wear it, allowing them to make sound tactical decisions and inspire their sisters with their unwavering faith.
It's a reminder that for the Adepta Sororitas, faith is not just about blind obedience or mindless zealotry. It's about seeking understanding, about connecting with a higher power, and channeling its wisdom and strength to overcome the challenges they face. Their faith is a source of knowledge, a guide through the darkness, and a wellspring of power that allows them to face even the most daunting challenges with unwavering courage and determination.
As we delve deeper into the Adepta Sororitas' history and beliefs, I'm struck by the inherent contradictions within their faith.
Okay.
On one hand, they are warriors dedicated to upholding the Imperium's often brutal and unforgiving laws, tasked with purging heresy and defending humanity from its enemies.
Right.
But on the other hand, their faith seems to emphasize compassion and mercy and the pursuit of redemption, offering a path to atonement for those who have strayed from the righteous path. How do they reconcile these seemingly conflicting aspects of their belief system? Is it possible to be both a warrior of light and an instrument of the Emperor's wrath?
How can a faith that espouses love and forgiveness also condone war and violence? The Adepta Sororitas, like many religious institutions throughout history, offer a complex and often paradoxical answer, one that reflects the multifaceted nature of faith and the challenges of reconciling belief with action in a world filled with suffering and conflict.
It's almost as if they see themselves as instruments of divine judgment, wielding the Emperor's wrath to punish the wicked and protect the innocent, a necessary evil in a galaxy consumed by darkness and corruption.
Their worldview is a reflection of the grim reality of the Warhammer 40K universe, a galaxy where humanity is constantly under threat from both within and without. They believe that the Emperor represents the pinnacle of human potential, the embodiment of order and reason, the only hope for humanity's survival in a hostile and unforgiving galaxy. They see chaos as a reflection of humanity's flaws, its darkness, its capacity for cruelty and self-destruction, a force that must be eradicated to ensure humanity's future. In their eyes, war is a necessary evil, a means to purge the galaxy of corruption and safeguard the Emperor's vision for humanity.
It's a grim worldview, a reflection of the harsh realities they face on a daily basis, constantly battling against demons, heretics, and aliens who seek to destroy everything they hold dear. It's understandable that their faith has hardened into a weapon, a shield against the encroaching darkness, a way to find meaning and purpose in the face of overwhelming suffering and loss. It's a testament to their resilience, their ability to find hope and purpose in a galaxy that seems determined to crush the human spirit.
It makes you wonder, though, at what cost. Is it possible to maintain such a rigid belief system without sacrificing some part of your humanity?
Yeah.
Can one truly be a warrior of light without also embracing some degree of darkness?
Yeah.
These are questions that the Adepta Sororitas grapple with every day as they fight for the survival of the Imperium and the preservation of their faith.
That is a profound question, one that each sister must grapple with in her own heart. The Adepta Sororitas are not a monolithic entity. They're individuals, each with their own beliefs, doubts, and struggles. Some find solace in the rigidity of their faith, the comfort of unwavering certainty in a galaxy filled with chaos and uncertainty, while others wrestle with the contradictions, the gray areas that exist even within the most dogmatic belief systems.
Even in the Warhammer 40K universe, with its vast scale and epic battles, the most important conflicts are often fought within the hearts and minds of individuals. The struggle to reconcile faith with doubt, duty with compassion, and the desire for peace with the necessity of war. These are the challenges that define the human experience even in the grimdark future of the 41st millennium.
The Adepta Sororitas, for all their piety and zealotry, embody this complexity. Their faith is not a simple thing easily defined or categorized. It is a tapestry woven from threads of devotion, sacrifice, doubt, and the enduring hope for redemption, a reflection of the human condition in all its messy and contradictory glory.
The Adepta Sororitas, with their unwavering faith and martial prowess, stand as a bulwark against the encroaching darkness, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. But their very existence raises a question. Could they also represent a potential threat to the Imperium they so fiercely defend? Could their unwavering zeal, if unchecked, become a danger to the very people they have sworn to protect?
It's a possibility that even the highest-ranking members of the Ecclesiarchy and the Inquisition recognize the Adepta Sororitas' strength stems from their unwavering belief in the Emperor's divinity and their willingness to carry out his will, even if it means resorting to extreme measures. But that same strength can also be a weakness, a vulnerability that could be exploited by those with their own agendas.
So their unwavering faith, their greatest asset, could also be their greatest weakness. A double-edged sword that could cut both ways, protecting the Imperium from its enemies, but also potentially threatening its stability and its very soul.
Imagine, for instance, a situation where the Adepta Sororitas' interpretation of the Emperor's will diverges from that of the Ecclesiarchy or the Inquisition.
Okay.
Or perhaps a charismatic leader arises within their ranks, someone who twists their faith to serve a personal agenda, leading them down a path of heresy and rebellion.
It's a chilling thought. They are so well-trained, so dedicated, so utterly convinced of their righteousness, that if they were to go rogue, to turn against the Imperium they swore to protect this bet, it would be a disaster of unimaginable proportions.
It would be a catastrophe. Their knowledge of Imperial defenses, their combat skills, their access to powerful weaponry, all turned against the very people they vowed to defend the Imperium, would be torn apart from within its defenses, shattered by those who were once its most loyal protectors.
It makes you wonder what safeguards are in place to prevent such a scenario. The Imperium is built on a foundation of control and hierarchy, a vast and complex bureaucracy designed to maintain order and prevent chaos. Surely there are mechanisms to keep the Adepta Sororitas in check, to ensure that their faith and their zeal do not become a threat to the stability of the Imperium.
There are the Convocation of Nephilim,
Okay.
which binds them to the Ordo Hereticus. Is one such mechanism a way to keep their power in check and ensure they remain aligned with the goals of the Inquisition? The Inquisition, with its vast network of spies and informants, also keeps a watchful eye on the Adepta Sororitas, monitoring their activities and rooting out any signs of deviation or heresy, ensuring that their faith remains pure and their actions serve the best interests of the Imperium. So it's a delicate balancing act, a constant struggle to harness the Adepta Sororitas' power without letting it grow out of control. They need their strength and dedication to defend the Imperium from its enemies, but they also have to be wary of the potential dangers that come with such unwavering faith and zeal. It's a testament to the inherent tension that exists within the Imperium, the constant struggle between faith, power, and control, a struggle that plays out on a galactic scale, shaping the destiny of billions of souls.
It is a complex and ever-evolving relationship, a delicate dance between faith and power, duty and ambition, But one thing is certain, the Adepta Sororitas, with their unwavering faith, their martial prowess, and their unwavering devotion to the Emperor, will continue to play a pivotal role in the fate of the Imperium for good or for ill. Their story is a reminder that faith can be both a source of great strength and a catalyst for great destruction, a force that can shape the destiny of empires and the fate of entire civilizations.
What a powerful thought to end on. The Adepta Sororitas are more than just soldiers. They're symbols of the Imperium's enduring spirit, its faith, its resilience, and its capacity for both great good and great evil. They remind us that in a galaxy consumed by darkness, even the brightest light can cast a shadow. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the Adepta Sororitas. We hope you found it enlightening and perhaps even a little bit unsettling. Until next time, may the Emperor protect.